iron our iron-on no-show mesh to the inside front of the garment. Make sure it's ironed on sufficiently, and then let's take it over and we're going to measure for placement. We'll mark halfway in the middle of our t-shirt, so there's our center point of the front, and then from the center point we want the height. So I know my height was 150, so we want it quite close to the top neckline, so we mark 150 downwards, and then across the t-shirt we want 180. So go to the center marking, which is 90, mark the left side, mark the right side, and that gives us our square of the size that we want our embroidery and the placement. And along the bottom, give a couple of dashes just to give you a nice straight line. This helps hoop that line parallel to your hoop, which is very important to get it nice and straight. Let's go to the sewing machine, make sure you've got a nice full bobbin and a brand new needle, and let's get to the hooping stage. So we'll start with the base of the hoop and place your cutaway on top of that hoop, and then just hoop the stabilizer only. So we're just hooping the cutaway at this point, and there it is in the hoop. And we'll grab our t-shirt and we literally turn the t-shirt inside out. So we turn the inside out with our front facing downwards so that we can see the chalk line, and we're going to pin our chalked front of the t-shirt to the hoop. So use that parallel line that we chalk marked earlier with the edge of the hoop, and that will give us a nice straight parallel line. Measure from the hoop to the chalk line and pop a pin in there just to secure it, because we're going to have to maneuver this t-shirt around quite a bit because it's so tiny. I can't fit a big embroidery design onto a small shirt by hooping it, so I'm just going to pin the t-shirt to the actual stabilizer. Once again, pin and measure that chalk line nice and parallel to our hoop. We'll move those pins later so that they're well and truly outside our embroidery area, but roll that up, and that gives you the ability to manipulate your t-shirt and move it out of the way and pop the rest of the pins in. So I've gone ahead and created a little bit of a heart shaped, and make sure, like if you think about the base of the heart, that's pinned well outside so that my t-shirt won't get caught up. I've pinned the top and the sides slightly out. Now go ahead and use more pins than less. Let's go ahead and pop a lot more pins in there. Here we go, magic. And you'll see now the chalk line is clear of pins. So you really want to make sure that you're well outside those chalk lines, because that's where your embroidery is going to be. So here on the left hand side, you can see that head. I just push the pin in so that the chalk line is well and truly clear, and your heart shape at the top there comes down to a point. So I feel we're well and truly clear, and I've even pinned that excess that was flapping around to the cutaway to keep it out, and it stops it falling in during the embroidery process. Now when you bring it over to the machine, be very careful, just pop that under. You'll squash that t-shirt down to fit it under the foot, clip it into place, and we're ready for the next stage. Now let's line it up. So if we go into this button down the bottom, that gives us the ability to move the needle to whichever position we want. So at the moment it's in the center needle position, so you can click on that button there. I'll just show you that again. See how you can click at the top center? That shows us where the needle point is for the top center. So the green arrow is actually where that drop point will be. Now we want that to be at our chalk line, because that's our top line of our embroidery. So we go OK, and we go into layout and we move it. It's now we're going to move that down so that that needle is at our chalk line or below it, because we do not want it going over the top. Now let's check the bottom. So you can click on the bottom and just double check that that's in line with our chalk line as well. So once you're happy with that, press OK, and you can return and go to embroidery. And now you're ready to embroider. You do want to make sure that that t-shirt stays out of the way. So I'll just show you a little close up here. We'll move the camera in. You can see that my t-shirt's well and truly out of the embroidery's way, but I wouldn't take the risk of walking away and doing anything else. I would keep an eye on it. So if it does happen to look like it's getting close, you don't use your finger, use a stylist and just hold that fold out of the way just while you get the first couple of stitches in there to be sure that it's well and truly going to stay there, and keep embroidering. I'm just going to keep embroidering a little bit and skip along so that you can see the process and how when it gets to the edge it is quite close, but it's pinned out of the way. So as long as your pinning process was good, all is good. Now see this little green dot? Each time you do a new word, just check that that needle position and your fabrics are well out of the way. If you're happy, put your foot down, press go, and just keep an eye on it for the first initial couple of stitches. Now the green dots, the green crosshair on your screen is quite important for your needle placement because it does help you know where your embroidery is going to start and which direction it's going. So keep an eye on that crosshair. I'll just show you my screen again to show you where the crosshair is. It's showing that it's almost at the end of the L, and when you go back you can see that it's very, very accurate. Now I'm just doing the word above, and this is my top left hand corner, and just keep an eye on that fabric, keep it out of the way, and see where the crosshair is on our screen. That's showing you where I'm up to and what word I'm doing, and once again it shows you very accurately. So there's that. Once again, before it starts that next word, just double check everything's out of the way. Check the crosshair, see where it's going to start, where the word's going to go. Go back, check all of the fabric is folded out of the way, put your foot down and press go once you're happy. But there we have our finished product. Now I'll show you how to take it out of the hoop and what to do next. So we start by removing all of the pins. So gently go around and remove each one of those pins. And then you will have something that looks like this. Take the upper hoop out, remove the item from your hoop, and move the actual t-shirt all the way in. So what you want to do is have the cutaway at the bottom, pull your t-shirt inwards, grab your pair of scissors and gently, carefully trim close to the edge, but do not cut those stitches or your t-shirt. So go around gently following the edge of the t-shirt around. Do not cut your stitches or your t-shirt. So gently and slowly go around with your scissors, close but not too close. Now at this point we're just trimming away the cutaway. However, if you feel that the no-show mesh is creating a bit of a border around your shape, here's the inside here, I've actually peeled the no-show back as well. So obviously it stays underneath the embroidery, but with the corners, just peel those back and the iron-on will actually peel away quite easily. And then trim that excess back as well. That way you get that nice definition around your heart without having square corners. So hopefully that has helped you out with your t-shirts. If you need any help at all, please feel free to call us at Perth Sewing Centre on 9249 4150. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.